for this session. And now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Prayudi Azwar to the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'd like to greet all of us with one surah, Sot 35, Rabbi Firli wa habli mulqalla yang bagi li ahadi min ba'di innaka antal wahhab. Rabbi Firli, may Allah purify our intention to beautify the world that already being created so beautiful. And we'd like to also ask Allah to bestow upon us mulkan, the power, the energy, the synergy, everything that needed for bring prosperity, kindness, and futures to the globe. And we also raise our salawah to our Prophet, Nabi Besar Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, peace be upon him, his family, and his Sahaba. First of all, today we have the first sessions. This sessions is very important because this is talking about the innovative side. Actually, we have three nobilities. First nobilities is related to the teaching. Islamic teach us about the principles of social finance, and the second is the nobility on the character, because according to World Giving Index, for the 7 consecutive years, Indonesia won the positions as the most generous countries. So a big applause to all of us. By having this character, our challenge is how to make the wallet of the generous persons become thicker. If that's thin, the impact will be low. The third one, we have the nobility on the missions that stated here as justice, compassion, and shared prosperity. But we found on the ground, we still have the problems of poverty and income inequality. So we need a lot of innovation of that. Based on that, we'd like to invite you, 3 of our respected, honorable speakers. First, Professor Dr. Muzaki, Professor Dr. Mansur Ibrahim, and Professor Dr. Muhammad Zaki to come on the stage. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for this session, I'll read the CV of our presenters. First will be Professor Ahmad Muzaki. He is a lecturer in Social Economic Science, University UIN Sunan Ampel, Surabaya. He earned a bachelor in Education Science at EIN Sunan Ampel, Surabaya. His master in Religious Program from the same university, Master of Philosophy from AIU Canberra, and PhD from the University of Queensland. Because we quite around out of the time, because before the Friday prayers, so it will be about 10 minutes. Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi Jalla wa'ala, salatan wa salam ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Thanks Pak Dr. Prayudi, the moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about Islamic Public University, relating this university to the issue of Zakat and Waqf management. One of the difficult situation we face from Indonesian state Islamic universities is regulation. Because if we refer back to the law on Zakat and Waqf, the NAR can be consisting of three entities. One of the issue is about the Islamic Public University, because when we refer back to the next slide on the regulation on the law of Zakat and Waqf, the Nadir, one of the things is that the Nadir has to be legal entity-based organization, while no one from Indonesian Islamic Public Universities can be categorized as PTNBH, berbadan hukum, legal entity-based. So that is why if we would like to mobilize Zakat and Waqf, while the regulation says, the law says that only universities under the category of berbadan hukum, legal entity-based university, can mobilizing the Waqf. So the issue is that how can we help from Islamic public universities in Indonesia to mobilize the cash waqf or land waqfs and the like? For one of the things is a poverty alleviation. So this is one of the critical issue within Waqf management under the Ministry of Religious Affairs, because no one from Islamic public universities in Indonesia can be categorized as legal entity-based university. In comparison to public universities, regular public universities in Indonesia, if you look at two public universities, just to set some, IPB in Bogor, for example, and also Erlangga universities in Surabaya, they have their own Waqf institute. This is quite a critical issue in mobilizing the Zakat and Waqf in comparison to Islamic public states universities. But to the best of my knowledge and based on my experience in leading Sunan Ampel State Islamic University, I would like to relate the issue of Waqf with a poverty alleviation purposes. We refer back to the verse in the Quran, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ. There are three characters, three identities. Waqf and Zakat can be distributed. If you may spend your Zakat and Waqf, for example, to either Dhat al-Qurba, the relatives, and al-Miskin, the poor, the deprived persons, and also Ibn as-Sabil. My university takes the policy to combine between the three. If we would like to relate the issue of Waqf, for example, Zakat, for example, to the poverty alleviation, so you have to put all together the multiple identities, relatives, and the deprived, the poor, and also the Ibn as-Sabil into one a figure or person within the community. Then I went to BAZNAS in East Java province, and I talked to the high profile person within the BAZNAS of East Java's province. If you would like to have some projects in alleviating poverty within the community in East Java, so we have to incorporate these three identities into one. So we have to find a figure within a family in the society who can be categorized as your relative, the poor, and the Ibn Sabil. And we come together with BAZNAS of East Java to initiate the program, giving them scholarship to come to university, and we calculate within one semester, we would like to get a fund from BAZNAS, around 30 people, but then BAZNAS give us around 60 for each semester. And when we compare this issue into the poverty profiles in East Java, you can have a look the data. 1.2 million of East Java's people then can be categorized as the deprived persons. If we would like to alleviate the poverty of East Java's population, so the issue is how we can make use of a higher education as the instrument to alleviate poverty within the community in East Java under the scheme of scholarship which can be taken from Zakat and Waqf from the community. So this is kind of a policy we take. And then after having this kind of issue, then BAZNAS across districts of East Java then join the program. Pak Badia, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for Professor Ahmad Zaki. That's a great point that you shared us how important the legal entity should be established, and also the institutionalizations in the university is also important, and also the distributions sites that could be considered properly. And thank you for that. And we'll move to our second presenters. We have here Professor Dr. Mansour Ibrahim. Currently, he serves as Deputy President Academics of INSIEF and as Dean for School of Graduate and Professional Studies. Prior to joining INSIEF, he served the Departments of Economics, Faculty of Economics and Management, University Putra Malaysia for 3 years, and the Departments of Economics, International Islamic University Malaysia for 12 years. He studied at Washington University. He received his Bachelor's in Economics in 1990, and then Master in Economics in 1991, and PhD in Economics also in 1996. And then for him, Prof. Mansour, it's an honor to have you for about 7 to 8 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi israh li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Pak Prayudi and all esteemed guests and participants and my panelists. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Due to time, let me go straight to what I would like to share with you. In fact, I'm very pleased to be again here, annual events, big events in Indonesia. And from INSEF University, under INSEF we have the Center of Excellence in Islamic Social Finance, where we have a lot of research collaborations with other institutions. And today I would like to share with you one of the collaboration that we have with Pusat Zakat for the state of Kedah under the leaderships of Sheikh Zakaria, right? Regarding Waqaf blended finance program for paddy farmings, big scales by the ASNAF for the ASNAF. And this project is in collaborations by the various institutions. So let me go directly into the background of what are on the ground related to this project. And if we look at the facts of Muslims in the state of Kedah, majority of them involved in paddy farming, and most of them have income below the poverty line. Right? And the second part, the Zakat Kedah played a big role in distribution of food to the Asnaf through the mosque. They have more than 500 mosques. Every mosque have 40 individuals receiving food every year with the budget of 13 millions, where the food are buy from the market, mostly in the form of rice. And we also know that food security remains a major problem in many Muslim countries, and Malaysia is no exceptions. So with all these facts that we observe, right, INSAF coming in, try to look into what are the core of the problems. Can we involve directly in the rice productions? Now, if we look at the rice productions from one end to the other end, it start with, we must have lands, seeds, fertilizer, machines, drones. We must have rice mills, everything throughout the supply chains. So it's kind of a big project if we are going to get involved with rice productions. And of course, we need training, especially to paddy farmers, not training scheme on how to farm, but more on financial literacy, financial planning, and so on. And we must have a good distribution system if we would like to be involved in paddy farming. So through the research that we have, mostly those who are in poverty are trapped into poverty as a perpetual poverty. The reason being, most farmers got financings from the loan sharks or from other institutions with the agreements that they have to use the seeds, they have to use the transportations, they have to use the machinery, they have to use rice mills from that very persons that finance the farmers. So a kind of having the cartel or monopoly in terms of paddy productions. So how can we break into that? So come the idea on looking at that problems and bring together various types of institutions to solve the problems. So these are part of collaboration between Pusat Zakat, between banks, as represented by associations of Islamic banks and financial institutions Malaysia, as well as the national committee level, Malaysian Islamic Financial Leadership Council, coming together to try to resolve this problem to provide solutions to the poverty. Right? And with the motto that they have is basically creating the economic systems throughout the supply chains from the Asnaf for the Asnaf. So the land has been allocated mostly roughly 200 hectares by Pusat Zakat Kedah and break them up into plots and give to Asnaf, provide training. And the bank coming in with sadaqah and hibah and financings to buy machineries and so on. And again, Asnaf will operate those transportations, machinery, and they also have drones for fertilizing the paddy itself. And with the conditions, with the training, the price charged to the farmers have to be lower than the market. So in that way, farmers or Asnaf basically will get more or less cost reductions with respect to what has been contributed by bank. And many institutions coming in and provide sadaqah as well as hibah and use their fund in order to create basically ownership of the whole supply chains of paddy productions from the beginning to the end. In the process, build the Asnaf to become paddy entrepreneurs, to become drone operators, to become machines operators and so on, and empower them with basically economic skills and financial skills for them to graduate from being basically a Asnaf and become someone who contribute to Zakat. So it's kind of big project that has been done. And there are various type of roles that have been put in, role of financial institutions, role of Pusat Zakat Kedah, and our role at INSAF to look into the problem, identify the problem, and evaluating at the end the impacts. And moving forward in terms of building up the whole supply chains, we are now raising Wakaf funds to have our own rice mills to complete the whole supply chains. And the vision is to have 3 Wakaf rice mills in the next 10 years. We are building up 10 millions to come up with zakat with the rice mills. Now, just a little bit, 1 minute in terms of what we learned regarding this. Now, when it comes to poverty alleviation, the most important parts, different locality, different communities, different society have different problems. And that's why the academic institution have to come in, do research, go to the ground and look at the problems. And poverty alleviation is not a problem of Pusat Zakat, it's not a problem of Awqaf institution to address, but problem of every institution. And there must be integration between business Islamic finance and Islamic social finance. They have to come together. And put everything in practice and require the government support. And as a final point, the collaboration that we have between 4 institutions here has been recognized by Malaysian governments and has been upscaled up into national level through the name of Project ASEAN, announced by the Prime Minister in the last Global Forum in Islamic Economy and Finance as one key project to resolve poverty in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. A big applause to both of them. We know that how important the research can be crafted and then applied to like a blended farming where the financial institutions, Zakat and Waqf institution and the ASNAF can go in hand and also improve the quality of the supply chain as well. And now we move to the third presenters. We have here Dr. Muhammad Zaki online. He's already with us. Hi, Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum, can you hear me? Yes, we cannot hear you. Oh, that's great. Yes, okay, thank you. Dr. Muhammad Zaki bin Haji Zaini served as Dean Assistant Professor at UNISA Brunei Darussalam. He earned his PhD in economics from University of Exeter, United Kingdom, Master of Science from Cardiff University, UK also, and Bachelors of Science in Math and Physics at UBD Negara Brunei Darussalam. You have about 7 minutes, please.
So can we go to the next slide? Next slide. So this is the history of UNISA. We started off as a faculty in UBE, and in 2007, out of this faculty, Islamic University was established, and now we are moving to temporary campus. Next slide, please. Next one. Next, I have to skip a lot of slides because I'm going to go through this as a minute. Next. Okay, so this is our college initiative in UNISA. We represent more on the Islamic social finance perspective, but as mentioned by the lecturer of Professor Komunikasi, that sometimes we fight the various affiliation that we can only internally. So what we do is that our is contributed by the staff academics and also the staff of UNISA. The fund, this fund is actually used for students who want to need. Same goes to Tabor Khaira. Tabor Khaira is also being supported by the academics and the staff. So if there's any need of the staff, then you can actually use Tabor Khaira as well. So but what we have here, the initiative in UNISA, is only an internal initiative by the university. Can we go to the next slide? The reason why I share this particular slide is because of Malaysia and Brunei have a different perspective of access to education. In Brunei, the access to higher education institution, I would say, is much easier. In fact, not only the government has given scholarship, but they're also being paid on a monthly basis. So what I see, if you go to the next slide, what I see is that the aftermath of this is the high job seekers, especially among higher education graduates. If you look at the first slide, 2,780 job seekers as compared to 300 plus jobs have been offered in that particular year. So this is actually a very good thing. We can provide various forms of income to access to higher education, but are we prepared to accommodate them after we finish school? So if you will look at sustainability of our program, are we prepared to have thousands of graduates but unable to have a suitable job or to prevent from underemployment? We also have to understand that if this particular issue is not being tackled upon, then we are also struggling with lots of investment for graduates. So this is what actually happening at the moment. This is our also very concern. How do we create a system that we provide a platform for all to access to higher education institutions, but to also help them after their activity. Can you go to the next one? Now, of course, this is a form of universities. This is our group. Can you go to the next slide? And can you go to the next slide? Okay. Despite we have been actually exposed to various training, especially from organizations from Malaysia. They will ask us this question. The user has to be self-sustaining. At the moment, the user is fully supported by the government, 100%. But are we prepared for any situation that if you were to ask to be self-sustained, or if the government can say you only going to provide 60% of your annual expenses? So these are things you have to be prepared as well. Can we go to the next slide? Can we go to the next slide? Okay. The main focus of my presentation this morning is that I want to highlight the importance of integration of ASEAN universities. I know this is might be too optimistic. If you go to the next slide, again, next slide. Now, the reason why I say this is because throughout my tenure as a dean in this university, I have actually accommodated various districts from Indonesia, especially from Indonesia and Malaysia. And this is where I see the common things happen. Is that there's a potential for us to integrate. We look at universities in Malaysia, in Egypt, even in Indonesia, or even in the UK, they're all moving. They all are successful because of the recent students, the alumni. But yet, if you look at all these universities, they all are persistent, they all persistent. But have we ever considered the possibility if we were to have a full fund? I know this sounds to be too optimistic, but something that we should consider. Because, in fact, for instance, through a collaboration program with the University of Indonesia from Malaysia, we are able to create various joint programs, for instance, STP program, exchange program. These are collaborations that have given the opportunity for our students to go abroad with a very minimal cost. And this is actually the power of collaboration. So imagine that if we were to have a full fund to actually tackle the needs of the poor people, even at least among ASEAN countries, I can definitely see that we can even focus on our competitive advantage. Now, for instance, do we need to create 10 different companies or 10 different industries, or can we have to focus on our mission, where we can have investors, or we can have investors for communities to invest in the land, and we invest in the countries as well, among ASEAN universities, with the common objective of investing in ASEAN initiative, which is one ASEAN, one community. So if you go to the next slide, the challenge of this is, of course, even Professor Ahmad has mentioned, even if it is all institutions that will face the challenge because of the legal issue. Now, let alone if you were to see the situation of Indonesian university. But now I'm talking about the ASEAN universities. So this organization, how do we even tackle all these challenges when we know that there's huge potential? So some of the potential is that governance standards, liberty of say, and in fact, even ASEAN has its own principle of non-interference. So these are some of the issues that need to be tackled in the first place. We know that we can achieve more if we were to work together. If we go to the next slide, that's another one. Now, before the next slide, there's also what we see, the common behaviors that because we see that there's a lot of things. We have ADD, we have World Bank, we have IMF, we even have ICD. But do we think that they are able to really cater us to it? For instance, we used to receive hundreds of applicants to our universities from Africa. But we're not able to get them. Why? It's because of there's no access to scholarships program opportunity. So imagine you have lost hundreds of applicants to our university. This is because of there is no scholarship program. If you would have a scholarship program funded by ASEAN countries, and this would happen to all ASEAN universities, we have not only contributed to development or in ASEAN, but also other continents in ASEAN. So I believe that we need some sort of non-affiliated as compared to what we have at the moment. And in the final slide, final bit, my presentation is that I really would like to see if we can really work together as ASEAN all universities. We keep on talking about learning revolution, learning program, but sometimes we need more on to fulfill the or to fulfill the very but I really see that if we were to work together, more opportunities, a common goal, we can actually achieve more. Through not only the Zakat, but in fact the very best one is Zakat. So we talk about very complicated, but the most complicated one is that we have to work together, not just as a country, but we achieve the root of our objective as a community. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mohamed Zaki. Big applause. Thank you for sharing us your concern on fundings, pool funds on up until ASEAN endowment funds, and also the integration series of challenges, regulatory governance, and so on. And you also shared the way forward for collaboration over competence, over competitions, focus on these areas, leveraging competitive advantage, fostering a community of collaborations. I think this issue will need to be elaborated more. So that's from three of our speakers that they already shared their points. So we have now about 5 to 10 minutes for discussions. So someone to raise the hand and mentions the institutions also. First, the lady, Ibu, and then Pak Radit, and then the second one. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, I'm Sulis from Indonesia Banking School. I asked two brothers from Brunei Darussalam, can you please tell us about productive wakaf practices in Brunei beyond for education, for example, for health or for economic and entrepreneurship? Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bu Sulis. Second one.
Thank you, Pak Prayudi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My question is directed to Prof. Mansur. You mentioned that the role of the INSEF with that project, paddy farming, yeah. But how big is the role of the university in terms of lifting up the welfare of the paddy farming, in the sense that are you also diversify the product of the farming to various kind of products so that the paddy farmer can get some additional income by that? Let's say the marketing and also the diversifications of the product. Did you do that, and how do you see the role of university to also let the paddy farming to innovate by selling not only the paddy but maybe the various kind of paddy and packaging and things like that? Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. We have two. First, to Pak Zaki, can you explain about the productive wakaf on certain areas mentioned?
Okay, thank you very much to you for the very interesting question. Okay, in terms of productive wakaf, I would say in Brunei we're still practicing traditional wakaf because all the wakaf practices in Brunei have been regulated by Jabatan Wakaf and Jabatan Yuzawa, Jabatan Urusan Zakat, Wakaf, dan Baitul Mal. So any issues pertaining to wakaf they actually regulated by this particular department. So we are quite happy as well with kind of wakaf that are being permitted in Brunei. So what I can see as a personal input in your question is that we are still in the key of productive wakaf in Brunei. So I've seen very more productive wakaf practice in other countries like Johor. We have really inspired by that. So we would like to see those actually practiced in Brunei as well. But reflecting back to the question, in Brunei we're still practicing traditional wakaf. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Zaki. And the second from Professor Radit to Pak Mansur, how about the role of the university on increasing the farming welfare?
Thanks, Pak Raditya, on the questions that you have raised regarding specifically the role of INSEF, right? And INSEF came in the beginning in terms of identifying the problems and then bring together all parties in solving the problems. Because we have worked with Pusat Zakat Negeri Kedah for quite some times, not only in the context of the farming projects of the big scale farming project of farmers, but also in the context of evaluating the impact of various projects that Pusat Zakat Kedah have through our education program. So that's what we have done. But in terms of training the farmers, because there are many other institutions getting involved, so various institutions have their own respective roles to play. That we have IBEMS, we have MIFC, and even under Pusat Zakat Kedah, basically they also have Institute Zakat stations or in the Universitas Utara Malaysia. So they also have their own training that do research out there, fully financed by Pusat Zakat Kedah. So it's kind of very integrated throughout, not just INSEF in there, but as mentioned in terms of training, mostly we are involved with Islamic finance literacy when it comes to those, not in terms of skill set on how to farm or how to manage things and so on, because we are not in that area of expertise, but we look more into Islamic finance literacy. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Mansur. We have one from Flores and maybe one more. Okay, we take two from the same desk.
Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate for all the speakers. My question goes to Professor Ahmad Muzaki.
Name, please, Bu.
I'm Amelia Fauzia from Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University, Jakarta. We all agreed that universities, especially perguruan tinggi Islam, has very big potential to support enhancing zakat and waqf. But I'm in agreement with you that we have very critical, crucial issues that it is very difficult for PTKN, perguruan tinggi Islam negeri, to engage especially with zakat and waqf due to legal challenge. Right? My question focused to what alternative do we go? For example, one, if we go toward PTN Badan Hukum, it will be takes time.
You answer.
Right? The second, if we go toward maybe we can creating a new regulation. Here we have a director of Zakat and Waqf, new regulation that allow Islamic universities, state Islamic universities to engage to make legal Zakat and Waqf body, or amending Zakat and Waqf laws. And the third alternative that we have been doing, especially at YN Jakarta, we have social trust fund. like non-structural organization, but we have to do with the volunteering, a kind of community service. So any other option should we go? Because we have Islamic universities here and we need to do fasten our effort to enhance zakat and wakaf from our
Thank you.
universities. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Amelia. And the second, please make it very short because we are out of time. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Tika Widyasuti from Erlangga University, same table with Prof. Amelia. My question is for Prof. Mansur from INSAFE. I'm interested with Wakaf concept, especially blended finance program. And food security is a main issue also in Indonesia, and we need optimize broaden economic ownership. My question is, I think in recent era we need to develop integrated model between social commerce sector and commercial sector. So specifically at farming, are there specifically requirement or characteristic to integrate to build integrated model between social and commercial sector? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So for the first question, please Prof. Zaki to answer that from Ibu Amalia.
Thanks, Prof. Amelia. We know our problem, and we know how to solve the problem. Two options out there, but the question is, if you are leading the universities, rector, for example, given two options, amending regulations or leveraging the status of the university into legal entity-based PTNBH, the critical, very critical, but pivotal solution is transforming the university into legal entity-based. And within, let's say, 48 state Islamic universities in Indonesia, only 2 Islamic universities were prepared for that, Jakarta and Surabaya. So we have a Pak Director here. Probably Pak Director of Waqaf and Zakat, for example, proposed to the minister, please sign up, please do signing the transformation. Yeah, because we know how big the potential for Zakat and Waqaf. But say for example, voluntary trust fund, for example, at the State Islamic University of Jakarta. If I'm leading university and then I'm given an option, opening up the voluntary center for trans fund, for example, I would say no, because different auditors, different perception of regulations. I'm really dying to be successful in leading university, but nobody wants to be put in jail because of the very gray area in regulation of Waqaf and Zakat. So, Pak Director, we have a law on Zakat and Waqaf, but then only PTNBH, legal entity-based universities, Erlangga University, Prof. Radit, and then IPB can do that things in maximal way.
Okay.
PT can? No.
Thank you, Prof. Prof. Mansur, very short for the second questions about the integrated blended finding approach.
Okay, always constraint of time, you know, in order to answer a very good question that has been asked. Thank you. Now, just very short, very simple. We know that you have we have Islamic social finance, Islamic commercial finance. Both have their own objective. How to integrate them? In my opinion, it cannot be from bottom up. It have to be from top down approach, where the government have to provide the bridge in order to integrate them. And in the context of Malaysia, the bridge has been built through value-based intimidation, requiring the commercial sector to have social responsibility and have the scorecard, and then with that bridge, you can integrate them together. And as I said, more and more coming up from the top down to ensure that the commercial sector play more roles that align with, for example, ESG or SDG, as well as social responsibility. Thank you. Just in brief.
Thank you, Prof. Mansur. I'm sorry for committee. We try to make it very, very short, but still many things to be discussed. And from all of the three presenters, we have a lot of insights, way forwards that we have to go together hand in hand and innovate it together. So this is a great moment for uplifting the quality of the Waqaf and Zakat to be prosperous and become an engine for transforming the economy, to become able to eradicate poverty, income equality, and so on. By that, I'd like to say Alhamdulillah, and a big applause to all of our presenters. And thank you for your very, very attentive questions. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prayudi Azwar, and to all of our esteemed speakers for the insightful discussion on innovations and opportunities in Zakat and Waqf within ASEAN Islamic Universities. Please remain on stage to receive tokens of appreciation and a brief photo session afterward. We would now like to invite Professor Dr. Haji Waryono, SAGMAG, Director of Zakat and Waqf Empowerment, to present the tokens of appreciation. Please remain on stage for a group photo session. Mr. Zaki, please join the session. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Now you may return to your seats. We will now proceed to session 2, which focuses on industrial best practices of Zakat and Waqf research and innovations. The session will dive into successful collaborations and innovative models in the Zakat and Waqf